Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome everybody, guys. Today is Friday, so I think that we could update our setup on the Great British Pound, because on the euro currency, as you can see, we have not really very impressive performance, while on the Great British Pound there are a few things that might be interesting to you and useful if you are following the setup that we discussed previously. If you remember, a couple of days ago we talked about the hand and shoulders here, and the market, well, we do not know how and didn't know how, but it should try, if we're following the technical picture, it should try to complete at least these stops. It's because it's the target of the free drive, and at that moment, and before the CPI report, we haven't any idea on, well, what particular driver might push the prices higher and let them to reach this top. But currently, since the non-farm payrolls release and in general CPI numbers recently has provided some positive impulse to the market's behavior, this becomes more or less possible that market could try to reach the top at least between these two drives. So this approximately 2430 area. This market could reach. This is the minimum target of this free drive pattern. Initially, well, it was some lack of the context for possible position taking, but then I have found interesting stuff. So if you take a look at the retail broker chart, this FX choice, you do not have the grabber. So here it's just closing below the MACD. But when I have some these tricky moments and arguable moments, I always take a look at the futures. And if you'll take a look at the futures, Great British Pound on Chicago Mercantile Exchange, you will see, and here we do have the grabber, and this grabber suggests taking out of this top, which in turn stands very close to the top between the drives. So with this grabber on the back, overall picture becomes more attractive and it's more reliable. How the upper direction might happen? Well, easily we could suggest that, for example, market could form something of that sort. So it easily might be some butterfly on the fall-off time frame chart. 127 probably is not enough. It's because it stands below this top. But 1618, well, it's pretty nice, and 2480, where the market could move higher. Or maybe this will be some butterfly shape, and the market just will coil around this top. So it's a secondary question. It's not very important right now, but that's one of the patterns that might be formed right there. It's more important, it's most important thing that is vital for position taking is the existence of the grabber that provide more confidence, and of course recent action on the CPI report. So with these factors and drivers on the back, we could consider some minor technical details. On the 4-hour time frame chart, with this hand and shoulders pattern, we have important thing. If you remember, when we talked previously, we suggested that Great British Pound could move slightly lower to make the harmony around 119, 30 area to complete some ABCD pattern, make an agreement with the major support area, and to harmonically be equal to this left arm. But with this recent upward performance, the initial ABCD pattern that we discussed now is erased. It's just because market already stands above the pattern, above the C point, previous C point. So it means that no other ABCD pattern will happen to the downside, and with a high degree of certainty, we could say that this is the right arm of the hand and shoulders pattern, especially when we have the grabber on the bottom, which is also important. Here's, by the way, guys, was very attractive and cool Gartner's triple to buy pattern. So anyway, with this upward action, it's actually Gartner's triple to buy is repeating there as well. We could suggest that based on this pattern and then the grabber, this is our invalidation point. It makes overall trading process more or less easy. Now you could just use the acceptable to you from the risk point of view level, where you could consider taking the long position maybe, and just make the decision whether you would like to take part in the stuff or not. So because we have identified all important things, we see patterns. So the potential target of this hand shows if everything will be as usual. So it will be 25, 35 approximately. It's completion of the ABCD based on the shoulder and on the head. Speaking on particular levels, so take a look at the hourly chart. Here's what market is forming. If it will be AB equals CD, this is good area to consider, because this will be agreement in the confidence 2163, 2172. So OP 25, 2154. If you intend to take position inside of this pennant consolidation, you will have to place initial stop anyway below the OP, because occasionally market could try to complete it and without breaking the overall bullish context. And if you do not want to be washed out with the occasional move, it would be better to place initial stop right there. Very conservative approach to suggest that Great British Pound will show retracement right there to the 21, 21 or 7 area, completes the XOP. But these chances, well, looks very small, just because in this case market will have to erase the rally based on the CPI report, and this will be not quite in a bullish way. So if market is bullish, it usually uses this as a foundation, showing the minor pullback and keep going higher. Too deep retracement is not very welcome in current circumstances. Well, that's why currently if you intend to take the position, you could, well, choose either to wait for a confluence or to take position right inside of the pennant, suggesting that maybe market will start upward action immediately. So in the validation point we already have discussed. So that's actually what we have on the cable. It's interesting for trading background, and just decide whether it's worth it for you to take part in it.